My
movie
top
or TV
5.
show about school.
All right. So I got to start off with Lean on Me.
That's
Lean
what,
on Me.
5?
That's number 1.
No,
Should I start with
see, y'all
5?
always do this. Y'all always do this. You
My
gotta
bad.
start
All
with
right.
5. Start with 5 and then go to 1. So
All right.
5
So
first.
starting with number 5,
Yep.
I'm going to start off with a show.
Okay.
And the show is Hanging with Mr. Cooper. I don't know if you remember that, right?
I remember that, man. Mark Curry. Yeah,
that's right.
that.
Mark Curry.
Yeah.
And the reason why I like that is it showed a black man having fun with his class. He was a basketball player who, became a teacher, and it's just like there's certain elements of that show that I'm like, oh yeah, I could see doing that. The conversations that you have with your students and whatever. So that's number 5, Hanging with Mr. Cooper.
All right. 4.
Number 4 is Mr. Holland's Opus.
Okay, why that was Richard Dreyfuss?
Yes. So he had it was a situation where he was a music teacher, of course, and I do love music. I think it doesn't take anything for me to go into a music classroom and like start showing out in music and whatnot. That's the other fun thing about being a principal. I can go into English class. I can do that. I can go to music class. I can go to gym class. I can have a lot of fun. But in that movie, there was a situation where his son was deaf. And he and his son really didn't see eye to eye because his son had a hearing problem and he was a music teacher, right? Yeah. And just so like the frustration there. And so, there's some situations that we've gone through where I can resonate with his situation. But at the very end, he sang a song talking about beautiful, beautiful, beautiful boy. Mm-hmm. And then at the end, he signed beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Cole, right? And so he was talking to his son. And for me, it's like I want my girls to understand like they are the number one students in my life. Even though sometimes I get really, really busy with work and all of that kind of stuff, they're my hearts. They're my hearts.
Okay, good one. I got you there. Number 3.
Number 3, The Great Debaters.
Okay.
All right. So number 1 is Denzel, right? Denzel.
Sorry, I blanked there. Yes, Denzel.
I understand, right? Denzel, and he was in a situation where, first of all, you had a predominantly black school, and they were debating against, I think it was Harvard.
The top school, and this was in what year? What decade was this in? This was.
I want to say this had to be in the 60s, maybe even.
Yeah, it was civil rights time, I believe.
Yeah.
I have to check myself on that. But
I got to go back and do it. But the big thing is when I think about Bloomfield High School, right? And I just gave you the demographics. We are always pitted against those who are surrounding schools, right? And our next door neighbors are, Granby, Simsbury, West Hartford, Avon, right? So those are our neighbors. And so, that piece of being able to sort of stand up for what you believe in, show your wares academically. And then the fact that Denzel was an activist himself. And so very, very involved in the community. So that movie resonated with me. And of course, Denzel.
That's a good one. You can't go wrong with anything.
Cut that out. Edit that, man. I'm nowhere near this. My wife would tell me I'm not like this.
It's all good. Your daughter's gonna have a good one with that.
2, Stand and Deliver.
Okay.
My boy Edward James Olmos. Right? Yep. It was a story about a math teacher who was in LA. They didn't expect the kids to do well on a calculus test. And he blew it out the water and was like, look, this is what we're doing. And it showed all of the different issues that the kids had. Yeah. One having to take care of their family. Another one, the parent didn't want them to be an academic and wanted them to work, and all of that kind of stuff. But he blew it out the water such to the point where, and it's a true story, the state was like, no, you guys had to have cheated.
Yeah, you must have.
They retested them, and they did just as well. And then they all went on to be like academics. So, I love that. I love that movie.
Okay, nice one to choose from. Stand and Deliver. You already gave up your number 1, but we got to know why. What's your number 1 again?
Man, Lean on Me. All right, so first of all, my line name on my line for my fraternity
Right. Yeah.
is Joe Clark, right? And Joe Clark was a no nonsense educator. Again, another real true story. Who went and he turned Eastside High School around. They were one of the worst schools in their state, and
Again,
became one of the best
taking
schools.
tests. Yep.
Yeah, became one of the best schools in the state. And although my approach is a little bit different, my resolve to make Bloomfield High School the absolute best school that it can possibly be, and be one of the top schools in the state is equal to his. So I really, really enjoyed it, and it had its comical parts, it had its feeling parts, it had all of that.
Yeah. For sure. So shout out to
Morgan Freeman
for that movie.
Yes.
I was gonna say shout out to Joe Clark, but shout out to Joe Clark too, I guess.
That's
but shout
right.
out to Morgan Freeman for that. Number one in your eyes.